It is recording. Hopefully it's thinking about going live.
All right, just tell me when it is. And also, if anybody's speaking, I know you signed in, just please state your name for the recording as well.
Okay, the meeting is recording.
Okay. All right, so who wants to?
Called.
Oh, I'm sorry, we'll call the meeting to order.
So if there's no speakers, we can.
Well, is that the position of everybody? Okay. Okay, just, if you would just state your name for the.
So I'm Margaret Munkle. I sent a letter to the board concerning the Greene New Athens Generating Company, LLC. And I reflected upon your very mission, and I would ask the board to reflect upon that mission as you are considering this decision to extend this pilot. I do not understand how the extension of this pilot feeds your mission and is true to your mission, where you talk about bringing in a diverse mix of business, employment opportunities for local residents, and the need for new local property tax revenue. I do not see where any of that is being met by extending this pilot for another 20 years. And it's very disappointing to know that you are even placing this as consideration. I do not see how you can possibly accept that moving forward based on your very mission. And I never heard back from anybody, so I just wanted to make sure that I was here as a representative for that.
We're currently in the process of drafting responses to all the comments received, plus the comment period on March 29th. And those will be posted to our website when they are complete.
Great, thank you.
And there's no action's going to be taken on that today, just so you know, okay?
I understand
Okay,
that. I
yeah,
just
no
wanna
problem.
Make sure that everybody is aware of your mission and moving forward with that pilot. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I have something I would like to say. My name is Paulette Miller Travis. I live in Athens, and I think it's pretty apparent to the IDA that, for the most part, the residents of the town of Athens are not very happy about the renewal or the talk of renewal of the pilot plan. And I'd like to refer you, first of all, I find out that I can't get any answers today, which is okay. But I'd like to refer you to the Save-A-Lot building, located in your post that had a pilot, and the pilot ended. And you put them on the tax rolls. Yay. And they stayed there for an additional 3 years and paid taxes. And from what I understand, they continue to give to different organizations within the community. So I guess I have a question, but I would like to ask the IDA, apply the same principles to Athens Gen. Pilot's over, put them on the tax base. I have a question, but I've already been told it.
You can state the question.
Well, the question is, why are you applying a different principle to this huge corporation located within the town of Athens? And then Athens would benefit, but you apply that to the Save-A-Lot building that's in your park, and they went on the tax rolls after the pilot was.
I think there was
So
a,
that's my question.
okay, let me answer the question. You want an answer? I'll give you the answer.
I do.
Okay. There was no request to extend the pilot by Save-A-Lot. That's the simple answer to it, okay?
Okay.
So just so you know that, just factually.
Okay, so I will, thank you for that. And so if a corporation asks,
We'll evaluate it as a deviation at that time, and that's what the process is. So I just wanted you to have the answer. You had the
All right,
question,
thank you.
I'm going to give you the answer.
thank you.
Okay? No problem.
Yeah, I have a question.
And your name?
Carl Travis, resident of Athens, taxpayer of Athens. I have a question for the precedent that you're setting by extending a plan for 20 more years, the potential of doing that, hopefully you won't, and starting a new one with Catskill Lodging. It's very enlightening to come to these meetings and see that you're starting a new proposal that obviously you have a full draft for, that you'll present to the public. And are you gonna set the same standard of giving those people a chance after their 20 years and extending it? I would suggest that there was a clause in there that it's a one-time provision, not with the potential of extending. And I don't know the answer, maybe you have the answer to that, sir, but did you have an open-ended agreement with Athens Gen to be able to just arbitrarily extend it for another 20 years?
You want me to answer it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can give a quick, I mean,
Yeah,
short answer.
quick,
Try
yeah,
to give you-
okay. There was no,
You're doing it again, that's what my question is.
Go ahead, Paul, give them the.
yeah, I mean, these people want an answer, so let's give them an answer. All right, the long story short is under the existing agreements, there was no extension right. They came to us and asked to it, and the process is going forward. Whether the board moves to approve it, it's the board's prerogative. Okay, there's a lot of reasons for, a lot of good articulation against, so it's just, everything is done on a case-by-case basis, so I don't think it's precedential, is the long story short.
So the same precedent will happen as ongoing with the next one too. That would be your trend.
It's a case-by-case basis, and there is no precedent, okay? I think the matter with Athens Gen is quite unique in light of everything that's happened. I was there from the inception. I understand, I was there through all 4 bankruptcies. I understand it. I understand your issues. I understand that. But there are other issues as to, some people are in favor of it. So we're going to evaluate it. We're going to look through it. We're not rushing it. I want you to know that your comments are considered thoughtful, which they are. And, we're going to look at it, okay? So I just want you to know that. Sorry, I just,
No, that's fine.
let's give these people an answer.
If I can speak about,
Got to give your name now.
Al Kaplan from City Hall Road. If I could speak about Flint Line Solar, and you know that, you're moving ahead to improve. And as Paul suggested, you've seen my comments about my concerns about the approach that's being taken relative to Flint Line Solar. But I just wanted to make sure, because, in reading the amendment, clearly there's a misunderstanding on the part of what's being presented in the findings document about what Sleepy Hollow Lake is looking for. There are elements of the SWIP that are significant for our issues, and we've talked about that. But there's a key element here which involves the chemicals and the particles that are actually going to be flowing into Sleepy Hollow Lake, whether it's phosphorus or other materials you've seen in the Princeton Hydro report. And the characterization in the findings statement is a mischaracterization of what we're looking for. Talk about, well, we do dredging and all that kind of thing. Yeah, we acknowledge that. And the statements are made in the report on the basis of the history of what we've done and not looking at what Princeton Hydro puts together in terms of prospectively what we would need to do when Flint Line Solar is churning up the land and creating particles that will be coming into our lake, whether it's relative to the drinking water or relative to green algae, those kinds of things. And ignoring that and ignoring the fact that we are a reservoir, which is very different than all of the other impacts that will be taking place relative to that stormwater, I believe is just off the mark. And I'm surprised because I've seen a lot of the work you do. I've been following the IDA, guys do some great things, you've done some great things. This is a project that people are gonna be making money on this project, taking it out of this town, out of this county. You would acknowledge that there is not a lot of benefit coming, from that perspective. And, I believe it's misguided, but you're gonna do what you're gonna do. Thank you.
I want to say one thing also. My name is Janet Kaplan. I'm also from City Hall Lake, Coxsackie. We have been having conversations with the village of Athens, as suggested to us, to partner with the municipality. We're talking with Mayor Sarago about this. They're interested because we are each other's backup water source. So if they don't have enough water, they would have to hook into ours and vice versa. The latest conversation that Al had with Mayor Sarago was that they're very interested in doing this, but she needs about another month to get it together and get her conservation committee, who she'd like to do it. So we'd like to ask that you put off your final decision on this for a month to give us a chance to work with the village on a proposal to you.
What is the proposal you're going to do with a backup connection, or is
Well,
it?
we already have a backup connection. We have an agreement for that. When we were here a time or two ago, you said we can't do anything with you directly, but if you partner with a municipality. So because we are each other's backup water source, we went to them and said, if something happens to us, we're your backup water source, it's been damaged. And frankly, they are more likely to need us than we are to need them. We have more water and a better connection to them than they do to us. They were hesitant when we first approached them because of the tax surcharge we had going, but that's about to be settled. The towns have approved it and the school district is set to approve it, I hope, at the end of the month. So they're willing to work with us on coming to you with a proposal for monitoring, that we would work with them to monitor the lake. But she, as I said, she needs about another month to get it together.
Anybody else have, members
Yeah,
of the
I
public?
do. Nancy Boyle from Athens. I just wanted to read a quote from the former legislator of Joe Izzo that was in the Daily Mail Tuesday, April 11th, where he says pilots are there to help the company stabilize itself, get revenue, and come off the pilot and become a full tax partner in the county.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, I guess we'll get going with our regular meeting. Start with reading the approval of our minutes for March 16th, 2023. I need a motion to approve those minutes as presented.
Make a motion, Eric.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
And on to the finance report.
I will make a motion to accept the check detail as presented.
Okay. Second, all
I'll
those in
second
favor?
Aye.
And I will make a motion to accept the cash flow statements as presented.
Okay. Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any food project updates?
So regarding New Athens Generating, the public hearing was held March 29th. The comment period was open until April 12th. Oh, I have the sign.
Oh, sorry. Ma'am, no, it's in here, ma'am. It's in here, yeah, sorry.
Once we receive the stenographer's final minutes, we'll finish drafting the comments, the responses to every comment, and it'll be posted to our website. So there is no action at this time regarding Athens Gen. Are there any questions at this time? No? Okay, moving on to Flint Mine Solar. It was emailed with attachments, but the entire final statement is in the center of the table. Today, we are passing the final lease resolution adopting the finding statement. If there were no other questions, regarding the finding statement from the board, which I did not receive, I would like to present the motion to adopt the lease resolution and the final finding statement for Flint Mine Solar.
Anybody on the board have anything to say before we move forward with that? We have a motion. A second. All those in favor? Aye.
If you could just sign the two tabs. Serta Simmons, just a notification to the board. We received the 2023 pilot. We're still waiting to see if they amend or request to end the pilot. They are going through bankruptcy. They're reorganizing, and they have successfully negotiated a lower assessment on their building. But they are currently
Have we had
frozen.
any communication?
I've had some fits and starts with their lawyer. I don't think they understand where they are. I don't think anyone really understands where they are. So I'm waiting for that discussion to be foisted upon them, and then so they've negotiated a deal which doesn't really have any effect because, we have the freeze in there. So the assessment really doesn't,
Doesn't impact their.
Yeah, so no one has seemingly figured that out. I've said it to their lawyer as to what needs to be done. I also have told them that, we have to have, some document and go back to people with it. So I'm waiting for where that will go.
Where are they in their pilot? What
They have
year?
3 years left.
I mean, they could terminate it, and then go from there. I mean, that's certainly their prerogative.
Empire Merchants North, we received a notice that Empire Merchants North plans to file a tax assessment challenge as well.
Where are they in
How many
theirs?
years in?
This is, I think, the first year, right?
No, Empire Merchants North.
Oh,
Yeah, Empire Merchants North, I have it. One second.
Would they be doing that to, get in front of the open?
Yeah, I mean,
They are in year 14. Their pilot is frozen at the 2020 tax rates. So it'll be a similar issue with CERTA, where they have to either come in and have an amendment done or end the pilot. But I don't know what the agreement is yet with the town of what a challenge how it might end up.
Okay.
So just making the board aware of that one. Regarding the Save-A-Lot building, I've been in touch with their broker, CB Richard Ellis. He has about 4 or 5 different organizations that want to tour the building. It's been a little bit slow going with corporate, getting access to the building, site plan, or the floor plans and keys. So while there's interest, it's going through corporate.
Are they still doing anything in there? Or are they-
No, it's closed. They
Are
have
they
a
completely-
caretaker, but yeah, everything's closed.
Is he Save-A-Lot's realtor?
He is Save-A-Lot. He works directly for Save-A-Lot. CB Richard Ellis is the broker
And he
for
doesn't have a site
Save-A-Lot.
plan for it, although they retained him to sell the
Correct.
building?
Yes, it's all coming from corporate. So he did try to reach out to the local GM, but obviously the building's closed.
Do you have any sense that they're trying to lease it or sell it?
They actually have both. So they're trying to sell it or lease it. No activity at this time yet, but hopefully soon.
It's not
And
officially on the market yet.
it is, he has a flyer and
What do they want for it?
25 million,
for how many square feet? That's 100,
330,000 square feet.
so it's $90 a foot, $80 a foot? That's,
For refrigerated, it's probably not bad.
the refrigerator will be 300
Build it.
space, yeah, I mean, the cost of replacement would be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how their equipment is, I imagine.
it's gotta be pretty decent, I mean.
Right, the building's only 20 years old,
Yeah.
less than 20.
Okay. That'll go.
Okay. Moving on to parks, Gateway Green Commercial Park, the updates. I sent out to the board just the application for Catskill Lodging. So there's nothing else on that yet. It's just to accept the application. And then we'll do the finding statement and go through the procedures. So Catskill Lodging has requested additional acreage because they wanted the road moved going into their site. So it's an additional 0.4 acres. Their contract is based on the per acre price. So they'll be picking up 0.4.
On the front end of the? or when you're
So when
approaching?
you drive in, the road, instead of going straight into their parcel, it's gonna curve a little bit. So it's taking part of that third pad. So the third pad is now available. It's 1.739 acres.
Is that detrimental to its value as a sense
No,
of that, or?
we have a pro forma and, with the per acre price, we're in the black, yeah. So, other notes in the agenda, so we're on the planning board for approval of Gateway Drive, and next week, the lot line adjustment for that road. Delaware Engineering, in your packet, there's also a schedule update. So we're on target to have bid documents ready to go out for June, and shovels in the ground sometime this summer. So Stewart's, the hotel, and the road will all be under development this summer. And I actually had a couple of people ask me about the restaurant pad. So I'll be able to present ideas to the board of what we want to see there. So any other questions on Gateway Greene? Catskill Lodging LLC, this is the 92 Key Hampton Inn. Their application is before you. Is there any questions on the application, or can we just make a motion to accept the application into record?
This is lot 1, 2, 3.
I think it's 3 lots. I think it's this.
Anybody have any
there's the
questions on that before we
hotel.
move on the application?
April, the Castle Lodging is lot 1, right?
Yes. So you see the road coming in, how it curves a little bit. So actually, that does reduce our infrastructure costs because they'll be picking up the driveway into their lot.
And both Stewart's and lot 3 will come off of that entrance, no curb.
Right. So we did receive a letter from Scott Templeton already saying they'll approve lot cuts, driveway cuts off of that road. And then the county is adopting that road. That'll become a county road. And I did meet with the county and tourism and Stewart's. So Stewart's is going to delay a little bit so that tourism can get through their busy season to Labor Day. And then they'll start working on that front area and demolish that tourism building. And then, as you know, the plan is to move tourism over to Stewart's. So I've seen architectural plans. We have a contract with Counterskill to design that building.
So Stewart's gonna start after Labor Day?
That is the understanding. The agreement is that Stewart's will start, and they already have been going to the planning board, but demoing that parking lot area and that building. And same, county is gonna work with me on moving some of the trees and the rocks, preserving them to move them over to their new tourism
Across the
building.
street.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we need a motion to accept the application. Second? All those in favor?
Okay, Caro extension of the infrastructure. This is the project across from McDonald's on 23. We've gotten through the soil borings. There is an updated schedule from Delaware Engineering also in your packet. We're going to be extending water and sewer. We're working on the districts being extended. And the motion today is to become lead agency and accept seeker documents. Delaware prepared them. They're also available in your packet.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a time for public comment on?
It already passed. First 30 minutes.
Oh, you're asking about the Caro?
Yeah, about Carol.
Okay.
Do you have a question specifically
I
about
have a lot
Caro?
of questions about Carol. I live on Jerome Avenue, and our water main really has been needing to be fixed for decades. I don't know if in your secret, if you're looking at the PFOS, the whole thing on PFOS, which is, I think people know what PFOS is here.
Yeah.
It is in our water testing. The EPA has just said that PFOS, which is what is in the water, should be at like less than 3 parts per trillion. And it is tested several times over 3 in the time I've lived there. I double filter my water, so I'm concerned about that. I'm also concerned about the fact that the draw on the water, and if they're using these 2 mains, those are things that should be in your secret. And I am wondering if I can get those documents. It's an open meetings law, and everything you looked at, I should be able to.
So if I can stop you for a
It's on our
second,
website,
so that
right?
even the public comment period in the first 30 minutes is for anything we got going on. But
Okay.
with that said, April, can you just give her a brief on the process or where we're at?
Yeah, this is the beginning of the seeker process. Okay, just so you know. So yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, let me get your name and number.
Okay,
Um,
thanks. And the second to last, Mary
Okay.
Karen.
Okay, so I will contact you as we move forward with it, but everything gets posted to my website, whether it's in the minutes or part of the project pages, but I'll send you the links so
Okay.
that you have the updates.
You do know that it's all wetlands too, and that there's new state things on wetlands. Those areas are very wet.
Right, so I've hired Delaware Engineering as a
Don't trust
consultant.
Delaware Engineering.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
But
So-
I might be talking to other people about that. I am
Okay.
concerned about Athens and the Catskill thing too, but I didn't
Okay.
realize it was, I was here before. What time does the public comment period start?
It starts at the beginning of our meeting, so from 8 to 8:30.
And it's not 8:30 yet.
Well, correct, but we
Yeah, I called for any other, were you here then?
No, I'm
That's
sorry, I
okay.
was late, I got a school bus,
Okay, done.
so I just,
That's okay.
I came over
So-
Potomac Mountain, there's tons of school buses.
Any
Yeah.
questions you have,
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
especially regarding the Carroll Water, because it's a new project.
36 years,
Okay.
just so you know.
So just moving forward with seeker and approving IDA as a lead agency.
Then move,
Documents haven't
yeah.
gone out yet.
Okay, and who is the lead agency?
The IDA will be considered the lead agency, so
Okay.
we'll be notifying town, county, any interested parties.
Okay, well, I'm a very interested party. I think my property is probably adjacent to where they're going to be doing this,
Okay,
so, thank you.
so we just need a second on the motion.
For lead agency.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All those in favor?
That's the end of my report.
April, just one question, anything from Columbia Memorial?
No, there is discussions, I know, with the county, between Columbia Memorial and the county, but they have not approached the IDA. The land is
That option
still
expired,
available.
right?
The option did expire, but it did not close the door. We still have that land for sale, so yes, it's available.
Okay.
That's going to the Court of Appeals, which is, that's it.
Okay,
So it's in the process of it.
all right, so with that said, we'll make a motion to close our meeting.
So I'll make that motion.
Need a
Okay.
second?
Guys,
All those in favor? Is the thing going on the table for the minutes, the last meeting?
The signature?
I did the
Yeah.
parking lot. I just
Oh, this is the lease price.
No,
I got it here, I'm sorry.
Yes, no problem. I know, it is that very important.